Men have read it. What happened in Vegas that didn't stay in Vegas? I went to Vegas for a work conference a few years ago. It was me and a coworker, and his girlfriend of several years tagged along. He was going to propose on the trip and they had already been planning the wedding. We were at one of the social events in the evening. And his girlfriend couldn't join us. It was strictly for conference attendees. I gave my coworker my complimentary drink ticket since I don't drink. He got 2 drinks pretty close together, and said they were strong. He doesn't drink very often, so just those 2 drinks got him drunk enough to order a few more drinks, and he got hammered. He ended up talking to a sales representative that was also attending the conference, and they ended up going up to her hotel room and had sex. The only reason I know this is because the sales representative asked me for his phone number the next day, saying they had a wild night together last night, and gave some additional details. My coworker ends up not proposing to his girlfriend. It's been about 5 years, and they are still together, but not married. I'm pretty sure she knows that something happened in Vegas but doesn't know what.
This doesn't fall into that category, but I went to Vegas with another Aussie I just met in San Diego at a hostel. We were both traveling solo, so decided to go there together. It was our first day about lunchtime, and I decided to go for a walk down the to have a look around. I was maybe gone a bit over an hour and came back to the room, and I heard a female voice inside as I opened the door, so I went back out for a while. When I got back, I asked what happened. He had gone to fill up the ice bucket, and some lady had come out around the same time and pretty much followed him back to the room. He was a pretty good looking guy and got a lot of. Ended up being an epic 4 or 5 days.
Chlamydia. Me and a buddy traveled around the country after college. We were in Vegas and were staying at the old Holiday Inn Boardwalk. We found out Stone Temple Pilots were playing at one of the casinos and got tickets. We were at a bar prepping for the show when we ran into a couple guys who had some acid. They offered to the details of everything a Hazy, but I do remember taking a corner somewhere in the balcony during the show. I woke up, came to, at some point in the very early AM the following morning in the hallway outside our hotel room with just my underwear on. I have no idea how I got. Have to say that getting gatekept by the acid police is not what I expected.
I went to a bachelor party 30 years ago when my wife was 5 months pregnant. The guys called strippers, and it got. I was having none of it, so I went downstairs to gamble. Some guys thought it would be fun to put the strippers in my suitcase. Good thing my wife knew me.
Wow, those guys are major assholes. My manager bragged about outing an entire bachelor party, Bachelor included, to their wives and girlfriends that they got hookers, but he totally didn't do it too. Asked some questions to dig a little deeper, and it turns out his wife found his cocaine, and instead of saying it was his, he just spilled the juiciest dirt to her that he had, and then she made him call all the girlfriends on speakerphone to tell them what happened. All of this told to me by my boss. I work in accounting.
What a? Just take the L like a man.
Last Vegas bachelor party a few years ago, a friend broke his ankle crossing a street. That certainly didn't go away on Monday.
I once pranked a guy on a bachelor's trip by changing his girl's friend's number to mine. Then I texted him, "We need to talk," then blocked his. He freaked out for a few minutes and then figured it out when he got to my voicemail. It was a good prank. FYI, he didn't cheat. He just was a wee bit more rambunctious than usual.
I got married in Vegas. My wife left Vegas when I did and moved into my house. And get this, the marriage is valid in all the states.
I brought my then girlfriend with me when I was on a work trip, and that's when she became my wife of the last 10 years. We ended up pretty well faced and somehow landed in a little white chapel run by a tiny Asian woman who was more than happy to marry us. The funny thing is, my wife was scared to tell her parents, so we went with another wedding a year later. So I've now been married to the same person twice without ever being divorced.
A friend came back with a drippy and gave his wife gonorrhea. The funny thing was, she and another married friend were having an affair. All 4 got it. Both divorced.
St. Patrick's Day 2010. My partner and I had our honeymoon in Vegas and got way to and had unprotected in St. Patty's Day. Our first kid was born 9 months and 1 day after we got married. What happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas.
That's wholesome as man. Maybe I should go to Vegas with my girlfriend to save on wedding costs.
We still laugh about it, and her parents still don't know even though we have both marriage certificates framed on the wall under a Hobby Lobby sign that says, "I choose you again and again." My only regret is that we couldn't get an Elvis impersonator.
NGL, I didn't expect so many marriages, but it's kinda heartwarming.
Giving kudos to his wife here. The girlfriends deserve to know that they're together with scums. Cheating is bad enough, but STIs are not to be joked.
My friend won a substantial amount of money playing mostly blackjack all weekend, and some other card games. He flew home, and the casino began to contact him, asking him to come back and offering free stays. First it was emails, then mail, then phone. Eventually they offered him an all expenses paid stay, flight, car, hotel, super lavish stuff. He took them up on it, went there and lost everything. So this is a story of something that didn't stay in Vegas, but definitely something that Vegas got back.
So we're blaming the boss and not the pieces of that banged hookers in Vegas when they have girlfriends? Reddit can be a strange place.
He thought he was a goner just to find out the marriage was half. My karma is now a gonorrhea joke.
I think we should be mad at all of them.
Went to Vegas for my 21st birthday. Which kind of as I didn't realize they would ID everywhere, so I actually couldn't gamble until the last 2 days of the lost about $3,000 on the last night when 13 blacks consecutively came in. Also I sat down at a table playing Limit Texas Hold'em, no clue what I was doing. Fast forward a few years and I have lost about 250,000 pounds gambling. Mostly poker, some Romanian wrestling and female basketball games in Bogota. So yeah, playing poker and a gambling addiction. Pretty crazy how that worked out.
That's when you go back, but don't set foot in the casino.
I had recently gotten out of a long-term relationship that wasn't nearly as monogamous as I thought it was. One of my friends said I should take a trip to Vegas to take my mind off things and have a good time. She said she'd be the best wingman. I'd even seen to make sure that I got laid as much as humanly possible. We're now married.
A former friend went to Vegas for a week-long work conference, got stupidly and cheated on his wife. During his time cheating, he accidentally sent her proof he was cheating. Dude came back to a completely empty home, about half his bank account. She was fair about it. All she left him was his clothes and his family keepsakes. He just quietly signed the divorce papers and changed careers, and moved across the country. Absolutely nobody in our larger friends group sided with him, and nobody remained his friend.
My credit card was skimmed at some gas station and a bank account was started in my name.
She knew what she was doing.
I am 99% sure I got my wife pregnant when we stayed at Bellagio last year.
That's how they get you. Free stays, free food just so you stay longer and eventually get the urge to gamble and lose so they get their money back.
Lived in Vegas for years and worked on the. I saw so many men ruin their lives over a weekend with hookers and blow. Come on vacation, leave on probation.
Everyone is the here, haha.
Except for the other cheating partner's partner.
Me. I was born there then moved.
Must have been quite unlikable. Usually someone like that gets a couple of friends in the divorce.
Thought he was a goner, but the clap game.
Icker, like what's so funny about that? Haha, let's ruin this, guys. Your friend for sure was a good wingman, huh?
We were in Vegas for a bachelor party of one of my closest high school friends. The best man ran a phenomenal bachelor party, giving us an upfront budget that included everything except airfare and food, paid for everything on his card, and then sent us a bill. We partied in suites, in clubs with private booths, and in private cabanas. Like rock stars. He even came in under budget. And this covered, like, 30 guys. Most of the dudes were from the business school or college, but there were 4 of us from high school, as the 5 of us have been friends since middle school and are still close. One of my closest friends has always been kind of a black sheep. He's not book smart, he barely got out of high school, didn't get out of college, and went from being a highly active user to being a user of basically everything until he went to rehab the 4th time a few years ago, when he was addicted to. That said, he's also one of the most honest, sweetest, and good-hearted people I've ever known. I love him, During this part of his life, about 16 years ago, he was also a multimillionaire, having parlayed some office furniture installation job into a Southwestern office supply store. Serious, he credited it to doing coke with the owner who sold him the company as he was getting dragged down into drugs. Seriously, not making this up. It was run out of Salt Lake City, and my friend was hustling and partying like there's no tomorrow, like you could still do in your early 30s. So, at this stage, he's also well into drugs beyond. He brought a backpack full of secret pockets, *eye roll, with him to the bachelor party, with stuff for anyone. Coke, GHB, and some prescription stuff as well. Fully stocked. So, the first 3 days go off without a hitch. Just a blast. Like vampires, we slept all day, pool in afternoon, and fun at night. Now, I'm recently married as was another high school friend, so we shared a room with our wild friend. We were being pretty chill, but we're also having a blast. It was fun to just be there. Did a little gambling, won a little. Now, the last full day, we're going to some pool club. I want to say at the Hard Rock, but honestly, I don't remember anymore. Anyway, the best man stopped by our room, specifically, to tell this dude to do whatever drug he was going to do now, in the room, before we go, that security was no joke, etc. And this guy is all, trust me, I know what I'm doing, this bag has secret pockets, etc. Enough. We get to this pool club and we're in line and security is really no joke. Like, I went in with nothing but a wallet and a cell phone, and they ran my cell phone through an X-ray machine and bent all my credit cards, licenses to make sure I didn't have a razor blade. So, rather than ditch the pack or check it at the hotel or whatever, he still tries to enter with the bag. So, I get in with a group of about 8. And then, my other friend is like, "Where's Mike?" And we're all like, "He came in with us." I don't know, turns out security found the secret pockets immediately and disappeared him into the casino to be handed over to the police. This is my last 20 hours here. So, being an attorney, I was drafted to find him and see what's what. Ruined my last day at the pool. Had to find local counsel. All that. Finally, he's charged and released to us at 10 p.m. Now he's sober and and looking to score, so I had to ride him all night just to keep him from up worse. Ended up just powering through to my 7 a.m. flight. Of course everyone now knows that story.